A very warm welcome to one and all. I'm Rohini Batwal from Gokhale Education Society's JDC Bitco English Medium High School with 6th standard, second chapter, that is the living world. Let us begin with the introduction. Students, in the last chapter, you have learned natural resources. Few of them are living things and few of them are non-living things. Now let us see then what is the difference between living things and non-living things. Students, living things can grow on their own in size, height and weight. Non-living things do not grow in their own in size, height and weight. Living things can move from one place to another on their own. Non-living things cannot move. They only moves when someone moves them. Living things can reproduce. Non-living things do not reproduce. Living things exhibits responses to various stimuli, whereas non-living things do not. Let us see what is the characteristics of living things. The features of plants and animal which helps us to differentiate between living things and non-living things are called characteristics of living things. Students, there are mainly 7 characteristics are there, and they are growth, respiration, excretion, reproduction, responsiveness to stimuli, definite lifespan, and the cellular structure. Let us begin with the first, growth. Students, a baby grows up to become an adult person, that is woman or man. During the period of its growth, the baby gains in height, weight, and strength. In the same manner, all animals grow into adults in a certain period. Generally, human requires 18 to 21 years for this growth. Now see students, animals also grow. Animals grow only for limited period, whereas plants grow as long as they live. Plants make their own food with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll present in the air. Animals, however, do not have chlorophyll. They do not produce their own food. They search for food. Animals such as goats, sheep, horses eat grass, while wild animals such as tigers and lions meet their need for food by hunting other animals which lives on plant. Let us move towards why food is necessary for growth. Plants make their own food in sunlight. Plants produce food from water, nutrients in the soil, and the carbon dioxide present in the air. This process takes place in the leaves of plants. It is brought about in the presence of sunlight with the help of the chlorophyll in the leaves. This process of food production is called photosynthesis. During this process, plants give out oxygen. Plants appear mainly green in color due to the chlorophyll in them. The intake of food and the resultant growth is an important characteristic of living things. Now let us move towards second one, that is respiration. Living things need oxygen in order to live. Inhalation oxygen and exhaling the carbon dioxide formed in the body due to the use of oxygen is called respiration. Animals such as fish, snake, mouse, etc. have specific organs for respiration. On the other hand, plants respire by means of microscopic pores on their stems and leaves. Let us move towards the next. That is excretion. Waste substances are formed during the many processes that takes place in the bodies of animals. These are called excreta. And the process of eliminating them from the body is called excretion. Animals have specific organs for excretion. Plants too excrete. For example, some plants shed leaves in a specific season. Waste substances stored in the leaves of plants are shed along with the lives. Let us see the next characteristic, that is reproduction. Students, living things produce other living things like themselves. Some animals give birth to their young ones. Some lay eggs. The young ones hatch out of the eggs. New plants are produced from the seeds, stems, or leaves of the plants. The process by which a living thing generates a new living thing like itself is called reproduction or procreation. Let us see the next characteristic, that is responsiveness to stimuli. Students, living things act in various ways when responding to a stimulus. If you suddenly enter a cowshed, the cows and buffaloes stand up and begins to move. One or two may even start mooing. These are all movements. The movement or the change taking place in a living thing at such a time is their response to a stimulus. An event that occurs in a surrounding is a stimulus. The ability of living things to respond to a stimulus is called their responsiveness to stimuli. Now let us move towards the next characteristic, that is a definite lifespan. Students, at a certain stage of life, living things become capable of reproduction. Later on in life reproduction stage, the organs become weak and still later, their lives comes to an end. In other words, living things die. The lifespan of different animals and plants are different. For example, the lifespan of the dog is about 12 to 18 years, while the ostrich lives for 50 years. Now let us move towards the next characteristic, that is a cellular structure. Living things are made of small units called cells. All the actions and processes in the bodies of living things are brought about with the help of these microscopic cells. Some living things are made of a single cell. These are called unicellular organisms. On the other hand, the living things that are made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. The amoeba, paramecium, and some other microorganisms are unicellular, while man, cow, mouse, cockroach, elephants, banyan tree, the onion plant, etc., are all multicellular organisms. All the characteristics of living things are seen in every cell of a living things, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. Let us move towards useful living things. Students, plants are used for household as well as industrial purposes. For example, fenugreek, that is methi, potato, okra, that bhendi, apple, banana are used as a food, while vasaka, that is adosa, hirda, beheda, asperges are used as medicines. Animals are also useful to us. For example, dogs, cats, cow, buffaloes are kept for domestic uses. Fish, sheep, fowl are used as a food, while animals like horses, oxen, camel prove useful in various occupations. The earthworm is very useful in. Now let us see few harmful living things. Some animals and plants around us are harmful to man. For example, mosquitoes and flies spread diseases. Cockroaches, mice, rats destroy our food. Lice, ticks also spread diseases. The bites of some poisonous lizards, spiders, snakes, and scorpions can even cause death. If wild elephants enter human settlements, they cause a lot of destruction. Some plants too can be harmful, as for example, the dodder, parathenium, and other weeds. Pods of the nettle, colocasia leaves cause itching. Plants like oleander, lantana have strong odors. The datura plant is very poisonous. Uncontrolled growth of fungi and algae in water pollutes drinking water and may cause the spread of diseases. Let us see wild animals. Wild animals that hunt other animals for food are called predators. For examples, tigers, lions, wolves, leopards. Sometimes, due to deforestation, such animals enter human settlements in search for food and may kill domestic animals or people. Students, here we have finished our lesson. Go through, always remember what we have learned. Students, you have to solve the exercise in your notebook. You have to write the definitions, difficult words, five times in your notebook. And you have to complete one activity also. Students, you have to collect information about the lifespan of various animals, make a chart and display it in your activity notebook. See the second activity. That Thank you students for listening, and be safe at your home. See you again in the next chapter. Take care. Bye.